welcome back to MPL MYSG. Once again, we are live on Facebook Gaming, and this is brought to you by EGG Network and of course Moonson. My name is Terrence IC Baby 12 Young, and beside me, Fatal 5-Way.
Ooh, exciting game one, man. And this, I mean, every single time we come into this, it happens time and time again where the season starts off and it's kind of slow. But man, right out of the gates, exciting games. But these exciting games wouldn't have happened without our legendary sponsors, U-Mobile, as well as our elite sponsors, HyperX.
Of course, here. Looking forward to see how game number 2 here is going to be played between both these teams here. X Assassin, you know, I think early on we didn't have too much info. We knew that X Assassin was a bunch of veteran players trying to make a comeback with a couple teams here, and we can see AX. There's a reason why he was a champion, and that's exactly what he proved here in game number 1 here.
Absolutely.
In this regular season.
Absolutely. I mean, he plays such a nasty game, and now I'm even
it's
more.
Disgusting. I'm like, ah.
This is not fair. Stop it. Stop. They might want to consider. I don't know whether they're gonna go out of their way to respect Bandit, but I doubt so. But I am pumped for this game too. Initially, game 1, I was like, all right, I'm pretty sure Nara should be able.
Yeah,
They've got some
I
star
was
power.
like that. So like I saw the Angela pick. I was like, maybe to try and deal with the Minotaur. If you did a little bit of damage, which they did abuse it early on. But like I said, you know, AX, god damn it, like like
stop.
Everything went so well for Nara. Like they were leading well, they were just getting kills. They were like that amazing 4 kills early on as well. Where why are you doing there? Like Minotaur, what can you do? You got no damage as long as you don't hit that 4. But once he hit that 4, things just went differently from Nara. Like what happened? Like it felt like it was the AX show in the entire game.
Pretty much, but I think his team is also really consistent in making these big decisions. So it's good. It's really refreshing to see a team able to play up to speed with another team. They're not doing this thing where it's like, hey, you take the tempo and I will respond to whatever you do. It's like, oh, you want to play a really fast game? We'll play a fast game too.
Yeah. And not to mention, it's only week number 1. Imagine the playoffs.
I can't. I mean, I'm way more pumped than I was before about both of these teams. So pumped.
This is definitely an underdog. I don't know. Could we see a potential season 2?
I don't. Okay.
Thing?
I don't. I feel like it's.
I don't know. Like Reborn did it. Like.
I don't think it's going to be an underdog because these teams, I feel like they're going to start dominating. I want to see them play some more, and they might be able to dominate the competition here considering their level of play. Like, just putting on my Dragon Ball Z Scouter, like, oh, man, their power levels...
Scouter, huh?
Yep, Scouter.
Not Super Saiyan?
No. Scouter, just that you want to see the power levels, man. See the power levels. All right. So you can get a good estimation. And I'm thinking both these teams, I think a lot of people probably underestimate it. Even I underestimate them. They should rank them a little bit higher because they are a lot better than what I thought they were.
Like, I had a couple of discussions with several players as well. They said the X Assassins is kind of like, oh, they're just veterans, they're old dogs, they can't perform anymore. But look at this, like, I don't think they're out of shape. I'm pretty sure they are in some kind of place. But at the same time here, because it's only still early in this week, in week number 1, where the new patches hit, you know, a lot of changes can be made as well. And I kind of want to see how X Assassin deal with EVOS. Because, a stronger team, you know, like NARA eSports, you guys are strong, without a doubt. Like, I've seen you guys play. You guys got good strategy. But the moment
you put against,
things don't go your way, you can see they were just like lost.
Yeah,
like,
I get what you're talking about.
Ever since AX made that play, they felt kind of lost in game number 1. So maybe in the kind of situations where I kind of want to see X Assassin go up with a stronger veteran team, like maybe EVOS or maybe even Icon.
Something a little bit more consistent where we can kind of like a good defining point to see where they are. Because right now the ceiling is like, I don't know where it is right now. And once we have like a good benchmark, then we can kind of tell where they sit amongst the pack. I get what you're trying to say there. And I think, especially for Nara, I don't think they were expecting X Assassins to be able to keep pace and even outpace them towards the later stages of the game. Because I think the biggest turning point for Nara was right there when Kolia goes in, all right, I need to steal this Lord. If I don't steal this Lord, it's over.
But unfortunately for them, the Lord was actually stolen by Zamos here. So, that was painful to watch. Like, I think there was so much moments where Kolia tried to go for these amazing kills, but they just didn't have the damage output, just lacking that one more right click.
Yeah,
I mean, finish things off.
It's a war of attrition. Every member counts. But coming into the draft, let's see how these teams kind of change it up a little.
It looks like they are banning Lunox here from the side of NARA eSports. They are really respecting the power of Lunox. I kind of agree as well. They were so focused on destroying Lunox, which gave AX so much space to just come up online.
Pretty much, I have to agree with that. Harith going to be banned out by X Assassins. I mean, obviously.
Like before pre-patch, he was really strong. It's disgusting. They nerfed him. It's still disgusting.
I think the one thing I have to say about Harith is that, especially after the patch, at least after the patch, you have counter picks that actually can deal with him now. Pre-patch, even though you have the counter picks, it didn't even matter.
Like, in honesty, I still think Harith is just disgusting to play with. Like,
oh yeah,
the moment
100%.
you put the Zaman Force, you just go out of control. Like, you kind of need something to lock him down, a silence, a Hellcurt silence or something like that. But even so, Hellcurt doesn't come up on like that early on.
True. But I do think Mincitar is a pretty good counter against...
okay, Mincitar.
That's like a hard counter. Like, I don't want you to play the game.
Yeah, Mincitar is fine. Mincitar is fine.
Ooh, looks like they're going to go with the Kaya here, but that means Grok is on the table for NARA eSports. Do they want to pick it up? Yes, they
definitely
do.
would. They definitely
Your team is
Grok
picking.
is just so strong early on as well, especially for punishing and snowballing in this regard. It's just so tanky, does a lot of damage. But the only downside I hate about Grok is that if your early game doesn't go well and you drag this low game and towards late game, you're just nobody. You don't do anything.
I mean, you
It
kind
feels
of
like
do
you don't do
stuff,
anything,
but
yeah.
it's like not as impactful as something like Minotaur, who's got like a crazy ult, but doesn't have a strong early game. But coming up here, the last 9 seconds, I'm expecting to see Akai and Shell. Oh, they're gonna take Kimmy! Woo!
Okay, the Cho has been let off. Kimi, I know that they banned this off early on in the first game, but you did mention as well Kimi has been slightly nerfed in this regard, but I still think early on, as a marksman, as a damage dealer, Kimi still comes up online way earlier compared to heroes like Carry,
Your
heroes like,
team is
I don't know,
picking.
Layla, Tank.
Yeah, I agree.
Layla.
Oh, this is gonna be an ongoing meme.
that's a
Layla, tank. But I really like what NARA eSports did here. So it's like, oh, you take this really strong early game marksman. All right, that's fine, whatever, sure. We'll take Thamos. We're also gonna take Cho. So we're gonna keep you guessing here. But Cho most likely gonna go into that tank role, while X Assassins are kind of in this position where they kind of have to think, all right, we're gonna be lacking a tank here, so do we really want to do something about it? And NARA eSports probably going to reply by saying, hey, we're going to get rid of Minotaur. Okay, bye.
Nah, I wouldn't be surprised if NARA actually picked a Mino Grok here. Like, it's really strong in that regards. Because
but they've got Thamos and Cho, so...
They kind of... Nah, maybe not. Maybe, it's possible, though.
I do think that tank ban here would be pretty good. Leomord, huh?
Your team is
yeah, it kind of makes sense in that regards. Like, Leomord just runs out of control on towards Orca. Like, you kind of want Orca to go for those solo picks, but at the same time, Grok, and if they were to go for a Minotaur, they can't just do anything with this regards because Leomord just doesn't really carry. Like, the whole point of having Grok and whole point of having Minotaur is kind of force people to use this additional flickers or mobility or additional spells. And Leomord just doesn't care, it just runs out of control.
Team is
and there's no point for them to actually go for a Mincitar considering that they have a Damus from the side of NARA eSports here.
Yeah, I think Mincitar again is really, really situational, but this is not going to be, probably not going to be called for here.
They might go for it just because they have a Gusion. And maybe, but
I still think Minotaur is a pretty good pick here. I mean, they need something to be able to pack.
Oh,
that's greedy.
Oh,
that's so greedy.
No.
Your team is picking.
Okay, I hate and love Aldos. Like, I hate it because it's so one of the strongest fighters and slash assassins slash nuker is everything
everything hard carry
when he hits the 50-minute mark.
Yeah,
like once he gets those early stacks on, he's just indestructible and it's so hard to kill him off.
I agree.
But at the same time, NARA eSports has the answer for this. Like, Cho can deal with it, Damus can kind of zone him off, but
wow. And then talk about answers. We're like, you want to play, you have one early game hero with that Kimmy, no problem. We're going to bring one of our own. On top of that, we're going to have a strong mid-game mage to isolate and target down your members. And X Assassins are like,
I don't like,
out.
Okay, I really don't like this coming from NARA eSports. Like, okay, you kind of want to have that ADC to do damage here. Like, you have Cuckoo from X Assassin who comes up really early later on, and ultra late game you have Aldos. But at the same time, NARA eSports, the only way for them to win is definitely on punishing early on, like how they did the first game.
Absolutely.
And I don't know, like, Natalia last pick here from Assassin?
Yeah, honestly, I'm just out of words to figure out why exactly Natalia was the better pick here. But you gotta remember that this is NARA eSports. They've got the likes of Kolia and Fenrir. Do we really want to question them? Well, we'll see. We'll just see after this game.
I kind of want to question Fenrir playing the Selena early on. Game number 1 was amazing, but are they on tilt train or are they be able to win this game number 2? That's going to be my biggest question here.
Oh yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is game number 2 here, MPL Season 3, Week 1, Day number 3 here. First game of the day, NARA eSports, game number 2, going up against XPAX Assassins.
Ooh, pretty good chunk out onto Cuckoo here, and that's the way you want to use Orca's Rock. You want to use that early game advantage to like chunk out as many people as possible, but it looks like the lane distributions are a little bit interesting here. They're allowing Fenrir to just do what he wants, and they want to funnel quite a bit of gold into their mages here, but I'm not so sure. It's going to be slow. They're going to lose quite a bit of health, and is it going to be worth it?
And looks like NARA eSports here, they're going to be switching up and trying to prioritize the jungle here instead of going for anything. But Cuckoo here in some trouble. He's only level 2, but he's getting pincered his way through. But he tries to go for a run here and surprisingly gets destroyed instead here. Nice little pick off here from Assassin.
Yeah, they're using their early game.
From NARA eSports, sorry.
Yeah, NARA eSports was doing the early game so well. I mean, look at these trades. AX, he's just chunking down Eric here. Oh, hold up. Is this going to be worth it?
It's going to be a free chunk there. And this is what I'm talking about. Kimi is just so strong early on, doing a lot of damage. But at the same time here, NARA eSports, they seem to have an answer for this right now.
I feel like NARA eSports and Assassins are playing the exact same game, where it's like, hey, we've got this strong early game, and NARA eSports are like, we also have this strong early game. Let's see how we play this.
Exactly. But looks to me here, NARA eSports is doing fantastic work so far. 2-0 right off the bat here. And I don't know, like Natalia kind of needs that 4, which he just hit it, did. No, that's actually not Natalia.
That's not Natalia. That's Nami, actually.
That's Nami, actually.
This is going to be big. I mean, the goal distribution is so weird. I mean, it's really, really messy, but I think the best way to understand how these compositions are playing is if you cut the map in half. Just right down the center from the top right to the bottom left, and you can kind of understand that there are 2 quadrants where it's the top side and the bottom side, and the moment NARA makes a play top side, bottom side they have to respawn, and if it's vice versa, you got to do it. Respawn bottom side, respawn top side. Make sure you are always trading objectives. Don't let them get ahead.
Oh, hold that thought for now. Orca might be in some trouble here, but at the same time here, Arta does not have the Hurricane Dust. Nice little stun there. The Wolf try and burst over Orca. Finally gets him down, but at the same time, here comes the refrag here as Tamos takes off Kimi, and they will get the Gushen as well, and they gotta be in some trouble here. Assassin Arta making up for survive here, and the arrow does connect as well, and he's gonna be a dead Akai as well. NARA eSports just punishing their way through in game number 2 here, and I kind of like how they're playing here. Like the online point here coming from Assassin is when Gushen hits that 4. Before he hit that 4, they've already gotten 2 kills, and now they're even going for more now coming from NARA eSports.
Yeah, NARA, they win the war. They win the war by Lord side, but I think they've kind of adapted to what Assassins are trying to do. Instead of giving up, they bothered to send Grok down to defend once he came back up to make sure they don't lose an objective.
No, Cuckoo.
Oh no!
Oh no, the kick here, kicking a little bit off the mark here from Kolia. Tried to kick him back, but unfortunately survives. A very, very fortunate here from Cuckoo.
Oh, Fenrir must be so bad. Like, why'd you kick him away, man? I want to execute him. I have my abyssal form.
Oh, that's not here. Forza gets caught out. Is going to be in some trouble. Hardy going to be bursting down, and Cuckoo takes the kill here. Sorry, no, actually Nami gets the kill.
Yeah, I mean, the more kills going on Nami, the better. I mean, Gushen has a lot of damage to offer for his team, so...
Okay, I was expecting this to be kind of like a hybrid offlane from the side of Assassin here. Like, ooh, that was so close here. But yeah, I kind of expecting this Natalia to be kind of like an offlane similar to Aldo's. But in this regards, support emblem up on Natalia?
Yeah, probably not exactly the greatest, but, well, I mean, we'll see how it scales into the later stages of the game. I don't think it's a great idea, but I could be wrong. Maybe there's something that Cuckoo knows that we don't. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt until it doesn't work.
Okay. But so far, game number 1, we were predicting NARA eSports. Game number 2, we were citing Assassin. It looks
I'm
like
50-50
both
now.
our predictions are like going, okay, I'm 50-50 too.
Yeah, I really just, it's hard to say because both of these teams are playing great. Oh, Smooth is in trouble.
Oh no. now Eric gonna be in some trouble as well. Aldo's going to pop out team, but Cuckoo gonna be joining the fight as well. Can they finish him off? Spook taking a lot of damage as Zamus tries to go for a refrag, but instead gets made with his life. Very unfortunate there. Arthur forced to go off the Hurricane Dance, but gets blocked from Gok. And nice little pick there as well from NARA eSports.
Ooh, I think NARA eSports right now, in terms of consistent high-level play, I mean, mechanically-wise...
I think they're mad.
Oh yeah, you can see it. They're like, nah, you're not going to get any advantages. We're just going to cut you down right here, right now.
No, this is the play where, like, I think game number 1, AX made this plays. Game number 2, you can't make this kind of plays here with Akimi. You kind of need to do sustainable damage throughout those team fights here. And now Cuckoo is just going to be applying the pressure here, trying to fear them with this invisibility, but it's only a Natalia.
Yeah, let's look at the items right now. I just want to see where they are at. Looks like they are slowly building up towards their first items here. Leviathan by the Harley already. He just wants to sustain a little bit more before he gets his second item, but I don't think they're in any position to really take these full-on team fights just yet. The small skirmishes are looking pretty good for both NARA and X Assassins.
Well, economy-wise here, X Assassins is losing out by about approximately 3,000 here, but they can still kind of slow down the tempo a little bit more. Like NARA eSports, they are definitely rushing this, reason being that they do not have any kind of marksman here. So in this regards here, NARA eSports are trying to pressure as much as they can here, stealing off the Reaver Crab, just pressuring towers, trading off, and in this case, trying to dive on the Akai, the Fat Panda, and you do not fat shame people, but this Fat Panda forced to pop the Hurricane Dance, and he's going down. Yeah.
Deadly
Wait,
Magic
one more
should
hit?
kill.
No, he's gonna
Wait, passive? No,
he's fine.
Oh, he is fine. He manages to survive with like a sliver of health.
Yeah, he managed to pop his second skill just to get the additional skill buff there to keep him alive. So that was a very close call there from him.
Yeah, absolutely. And Eric, and this is why you want to have Thamos on your side. No matter what your offlane is, it doesn't even matter.
Oh no.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt. That's gotta hurt.
Oh no. You definitely called this one. They are very greedy here coming from X Assassin.
I think X Assassins right now, their composition requires a lot of resources. And the thing is, you're probably thinking NARA eSports, hey, they have a greedy comp too. Not really, because Fenrir, he's going to be looking to get a lot of kills, not necessarily looking to farm most of the time. He's looking to make the play.
Oh no, they found out Cuckoo here to try to dive onto Fenrir, but Fenrir, unfortunately, does not have enough damage to be bursted down for the likes of you, Mr. Cuckoo.
That Deadly Magic is really coming on top here, and it's helping to secure a lot of these kills for the most part. Yeah, Fenrir, he chunks him down to health, and he's like, I'm out of here. I don't want to deal with none of that. And Eric comes out to heal him off.
Orca tries to go for the wall block here, and they will successful here. You can see Orca just doing so much work in this, as this frontliner here. Cutting off the walls, fantastic aggression with this tank here, and so far, they are just rendered useless here from the side of X Assassin here. Arta trying to look for those nice pickoffs here, but unfortunately, most of the times he forced to use ultimate. He's forced to go on a defensive mode instead of an offensive fight.
I actually would have liked to see him to be a little bit more offensive here, but again, a lot of playmakers coming in from NARA eSports. It's just a little too difficult here, but hopefully they are able to find like a catch, especially from Arta. He needs to catch somebody off.
They have to buy time for AX as well as the Aldos to come up online, but so far they are trying to slow down the tempo here from NARA eSports here, and you can see NARA eSports, they are trying to close the game here. Fenrir, he does know something's there.
I think if I don't think
he's no.
Oh, okay, that was close.
That was so close. They know that Natalia was there.
Absolutely, and I think they are looking to close the game and taking as many objectives as possible until the inhibitors, because that's going to be the hardest point to take. And a lot of teams struggle to close out games, but the problem is that they need to remember that Lord is coming up in 50 seconds. X Assassins, they're trying to get as much gold as possible and then look to contest it.
Natalia is going to be giving a little bit of information from the backlines. They're trying to go for a couple of nice flicker forward, catches on the two. Hurricane does. They are pincer here. Harley gets taken down. Nice block ultimate charge here, but where's the damage output? They are giving chase here. They are in some trouble inside NARA, but on the other hand as well, Cho is just applying pressure down the ball lane there, and they get a return kill here from the side of Fenrir. Going for more here, Fenrir. Try to save Arcolia, but the towers are dropping below 50% now. This split push aggression from NARA eSports, they know their timings are slowly closing in.
And I think X Assassins, they just gotta keep doing that, keep taking these trades, take these 50-50s. You may come up even. As long as you come up even, that's so good, considering that NARA eSports, it's such a big loss for them because they have a lead.
Oh, arrow connecting on Arthur. They are gonna be driving on the archive with the BOD, gonna be doing a lot of damage here, and they will finish him off.
they can't take this trade. I mean,
yeah, that was a nice pick there. Like, Qualifier just doing so much damage from that. But now Cuckoo getting scouted out from Eric here. Eric gonna be doing a little damage, but he's all by himself. He's gonna be surrounded by 3 heroes here, but he's so tanky. Look at him. The life steals are just so strong. They can't seem to finish off that quickly here. And unfortunately, he might actually survive this here, but nope, guess not.
Does not survive whatsoever, and NARA eSports are going to have full control over the map as of right now, as XPAX Assassins are just looking for any opportunity to get gold into their pocket, to get those items to hopefully contest Lord when it comes up. And as you can see, NARA eSports go, they reset, pick up their items, get their health back, and then look to pressure them once more.
Like in that situation, that fight, if Eric was joined by some of his teammates there, maybe things would have gone a little bit different here. True. But you can see how powerful Eric is right now. The spell vamp is just so tanky. They forced out so much commitment here from XPAX Assassin just to kill him off. But nice little pickings here from XPAX Assassin. They needed this little skirmishes trade-off to buy time for the Outdoors to come up online, which is coming up very, very soon. We are at the 10-minute mark here. 5 more minutes is all they need here from the side of XPAX Assassin.
Yeah, and now that with Lord on their side, they're going to be walking in. They need to get an inhibitor. If they don't get an inhibitor turn, this is not going to be well worth their time, considering how many resources they dedicated to this.
This is going to be a hard defense here. This inhibitor is going to be lost here. Now eSports getting Orca going forward, trying to bait out something here, but XPAX Assassin, they are hesitating, but a lot, dropping 50% so far. Cuckoo going to be applying the pressure here, and NARA eSports, they're waiting for the right moment here. Stun onto Arta, they are going to be diving in. Cuckoo taking a lot of damage here. They're going to be riding for troubles here. Claudia going to be diving in as well, forced to go back. He finishes off Arta, but instead gets paid with his life, and now they are going to be losing 2 inhibitors, potentially in the 3rd one, and every inhibitor from the side of XPAX Assassin is gone now.
This is
NARA,
a good
Cuckoo! For more Cuckoo! Ooh, that was so close here. Cheeky plays here from Fossa.
Yeah, really stressful. He pops down the smoke screen as soon as possible, but once again...
Cuckoo! He's gonna survive. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
Okay, he's fine.
But still, this is the last crystal here. They need to defend this here. XPAX Assassin, they're trying so hard to clear the push off the creep wave. And apparently, you know, there's nothing much you can do with a Natalia here.
She doesn't have enough to really steal this game away, but this could
Smooth,
be it.
Smooth, you're in some trouble. The Outdoors can't be picked up right now. Played out a couple of spells here. Hurricane does zone involved, trying to buy a little bit of time here. Will they survive this here? AX taking a lot of damage here from the Mage Emblem here, but now the Crystal is pretty much exposed, but at the same time here, NARA, they're dropping very low. Do they have the HP to survive this here? Nice ultimate here from Grog, a huge one here, but where's the follow-up? What are they doing here? NARA eSports, they are hesitating. They know the XPAX Assassin is coming up online. They're defending this. Arta gets destroyed here, but Immortality keeps him alive. Smooth in some trouble. Can he get up? No! Get bursted down from Kolia. And now without the Outdoors, can they do much? Kolia gonna go for more. He gets a double kill. And no, XPAX Assassin without the Outdoors. This is looking very slim here.
Oh no!
Touch!
Ooh. I mean, this is so much pressure coming in from XPAX Assassins. They're holding on with everything they can. Every time they respawn, they're just slowly chipping away at NARA eSports' life total. But they manage to hold them back with half their HP on to their base.
XPAX Assassin, though, they managed to defend the Crystal. You can see how many resets from AX back into the fountain, to the Crystal, to the fountain, to the Crystal, to the fountain, to the Crystal, just to defend against this aggressive plays on the Lord, especially on the buffed minion as well. But surprising, now this is going to be very close here. The 15-minute mark is going to be kicking in. This is where Smooth comes up online, but unfortunately here, Cuckoo gets scouted out from NARA eSports. It is only so-called a support Natalia, so the key players here is not done for yet.
I agree, and I don't think Natalia is able to make enough of an impact. Kolia here with the 3rd Jin couldn't go every single time, getting these big knockups, but just not enough for NARA to say, okay, we initiate now, because they still have so much damage on the side.
They don't have any long-range physical attacks to actually poke the Crystal as well. So they are struggling right now to try and get a couple of pickoffs here. You can see NARA is struggling here. Arta going to be going back as well, resetting HP. AX trying his best to actually clear off every creep wave that they can here. AX taking a lot of damage here from the Harley here. Fossa slowly poking onto his Crystal. It's half health here. A charge here. Where's the wombo combo? Archive Hurricane does catch us on the 2. It's a huge one. No, Ferry gets scouted out. They're dead. No. Where's the damage dealer? And now NARA eSports forced to go on the retreat here as Cho is trying to snipe off the Lord again here.
Oh my goodness, they just keep holding on. Assassin just refused to go down without a fight, and this is pushing into the later stages of the game. Maybe they will have enough gold.
You can see Smooth is coming up online here, but with the help of the Lord, can they burst down the Lord in time from the side of Assassin? The only thing standing in their way from losing this game is only the crystal here.
Yeah, I think as of right now, they could be able to hold on. This might be the fight.
Oh no, Hurricane does catching us on the Forza. Forza going to be in some trouble, almost making our life. One more right click will still to do. Gets the kill done. They can't seem to finish on Natalia here, but now they are going to be focusing on the crystal. The Lord is here, and this might be game here from the side of NARA eSports. That was a close one here.
Whew! What a fight! 1-1 with NARA eSports taking a game off of X Assassins. They finally found that lead to really take it all the way. Woo!
Whoa, like X Assassins here, you did mention in draft as well, they've tried to play this as greedy as they can, which they did, but unfortunately for them, I felt that the Natalia was just out of place.
Yeah.
Like, the Natalia was just out of place.
Oh boy, and you can see based off of the stats alone, Natalia really wasn't able to do much. Even though she was building these items to hold on a little bit longer, she just wasn't able to do enough. 9% of the damage?
Hero damage, just not doing anything. Like, even itemization-wise, we're just going for supporting items.
Exactly.
Which, I don't know, like, you kind of want that vision control, but at the same time, what else can you do with it? It's just a Natalia.
True, and I think even when you wanted to do vision control, a lot of teams have been using Smooth's ultimate to make sure, like, hey, should we take this fight? Pop the ultimate. You see the chains of fate.
Kind of check it, yeah.
Just to check it. Where are they? Oh, they're here. Looks like it's good. Let's take the fight. And I don't think they had an opportunity to really do that because of the pace that NARA eSports was playing, and they played so quickly, so fast, and they just cut people down wherever they got the chance.
Yeah, the double mage setup here coming from NARA eSports is doing so much damage early on in pressure. But slowly but surely you can see as well that they were struggling to close the game.
Yeah.
And the timing window was just there for NARA eSports. Like for X Assassin, hey, this is our time. Outdoors is gonna destroy everything here. But unfortunately for them, all the turrets were just gone. There's nothing much you can do.
Yeah, and the thing about their composition here, you have to understand, when you're running this double mage composition, you have to understand that it only works with particular combinations, and Fenrir here has shown a very good example of why, because you can clearly see that Selena doesn't really want to farm per se. She's looking to counter jungle every single time, denying a lot of gold off the enemy. She doesn't want to take the lane farm as much as other people like Gushin, who needs as much income into him, including those jungle camps. So, as you can see in a lot of these highlights, they're fighting in the enemy jungle. They want to be right up in their face, deny them that economy so they can get enough of a lead to take control over mid game.
And it's very important to know as well that Gushin comes up online when it hits that level 4. And in this case here, Grok is so strong in the first phase, like the first level 4, pre-level 4, just goes out of control. It's super tanky. You can see he's just doing his job. Orca just did fantastically in the first 4-minute round. But later on, Arta was just messing up. Can't exactly find those nice lucky picks with the Hurricane Dance.
Yeah.
In the first, I think, 10 minutes of the game, you can see he's always using it defensively to disengage most of the team fights here. But when he finally came up online, and this is where the moment just now where he locked down 2 to 3 heroes, they had the damage to do it, but unfortunately just the towers are just not there to push out the creep waves.
Exactly, and you're just a little too far behind to really go forward here. But you have to understand that, like, even though NARA eSports, their composition really wanted to play early to mid, they were struggling, as you mentioned before, to close the game. They are very dependent on Lord, and I think X Assassins failed to push out take a fight just before Lord or something along those lines, because they lost all their inhibitors on the previous Lord push, and I think that was just a huge turning point for NARA eSports.
And you can see as well, they were struggling so hard to try to clear off the creep waves because they don't have really strong creep clearing heroes. The only thing they have is just the Kimi. But aside from that, Natalia wasn't doing much, Aldous wasn't doing much. Gushin, you can't exactly force Gushin to go for the blades because you kind of need those to actually go for those pickoffs.
Exactly.
Which he did as well. Like in the statistics as well, they were doing like 50,000 damage throughout overall from the side of Gushin as well as a Kimi, but they just can't seem to finish him off. And like I said, this fantastic Hurricane Dance was what they needed to come back. But at this time, the Cho was just stealing the Lord.
Yeah,
and it was
just
like, oh no.
a little too late. Like it's like it comes online. This is what you want to be doing, but you just don't have the gold to back it up to really seal the deal. And I think that was a huge problem for XPAX Assassins. But to their defense, they played a very strong game towards the end. They held on for as long as possible. Considering how much of a lead that NARA had, they had an 8K gold lead for a long period of time, but XPAX Assassins held on very strong. So I'm excited to see how Game 3 is going to pan out now.
Definitely here. But once again, we are live on Facebook Gaming, and this is MPL MYSG Season 3, and it's brought to you by EGG Network and, of course, Moonshot.
Not to mention our sponsors, our legendary sponsors, U-Mobile, as well as our elite sponsors, HyperX, for making all this possible. We're going to go on a short break, and when we come back, it's going to be Game 3 between these two monstrosities of a team.
See you in a bit.